Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Yo, Claressa Shields. I ain't did nothing, Pap. Pap, tell him, Pap. I ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing. Nobody. I ain't say nothing. I ain't lie. For real. No cap, no blue hat. Claressa Shields, boy. What used to say? Don't push the horses. What we say in the States, don't poke the bear. What Hood Champion say? Don't take it to the stupid. Laila Ali. Yo, just riddle Claressa Shields with facts. In case y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Yo.
But I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? And I promise you, I'm going to give you that answer. But first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative that's been created years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable dragging my name and even using my father's name to get a...
Who could that be? Oh, man. There she is.
Attention and clout. Now, in case you haven't heard it, her story is that I didn't support her and I didn't pass the torch because of my jealousy and envy over her accomplishments in boxing. She says that I disrespected her and I started talking about knocking her out simply because I was bitter that she's outdone me. I've seen a lot of the comments. Many of you have good discernment and understand what's really going on here, while others have believed her lies over the years or have formed an opinion without having all the facts. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to give this my time or attention because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
Okay. Y'all heard what she said. Most people only focusing on the receipts and how she's clowning Claressa, and she's not even, matter of fact, she's just using Claressa's own words against her. But did you hear what she said? Listen, this is what people need to understand here.
Because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery.
So she tried to avoid the crap, but Claressa, she's not leaving it alone.
But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
Now, bad character running freely, dragging my name without accountability. Let me tell y'all something, man. I've done a lot of videos defending Claressa Shields, even though I know she's a little bit, she ain't as polished as, you would like to see a two-time gold medalist be. We all understand her background and all that, but it comes to a certain point to where, you need to go get some help. If whatever is bogging you down in life is creating some challenges for you. Now, this thing about negative buffoonery, in the videos I've done before about Claressa Shields, although I'll address certain things, I always say I think she deserves so much more for what she's accomplished as a boxer. But I always talk about the attitude. And I always talk about how important it is to listen more and talk less. But Claressa Shields doesn't know shit about listening. All she wants to do is talk, yippity yap, run her mouth. And she's very disrespectful, she's very vile. And obviously she's told a lot of lies. And Laili Ali, she really fact-checked her and had a bunch of what the young people call receipts. And in that video, matter of fact, if you don't know the name of the video, it's right here. Laili Ali KO, Let the Record Show Part 1. So you go and watch that video in entirety. It's 28 minutes. But Laili Ali is just tired of the BS. And I don't blame her. Now, word on the street is Claressa Shields and her team are talking about they wanted a $15 million fight. Now they're talking about suing for $25 million. Because now what I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true or not. Claressa Shields is saying that Laili Ali is defaming her character and her image as a clean-cut athlete and and somebody who embodies all the values of a true champion. And Laili Ali is making her look bad now, slandering her name, defaming her character, and hurting her image, which of course long-term is going to continue to destroy the profile that she's been trying to build in boxing. Oh my God. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know what kind of image Claressa Shields feels that she's created when it comes to boxing. But at least what's on camera, what's in her tweets, the things that come out her mouth that we see, because we don't live with her. We don't know. Claressa Shields could just be doing and saying things for entertainment. She may be a really good person, a genuine person. But all we get to see is that brass side. But I'm going to tell you right now, for all of y'all Claressa Shields fans, see, this is the problem. Y'all are dangerous. Because you guys are the worst people to have around someone, because y'all the kind of people who would never tell them, look, you're wrong. Yo, chill out. Yo, don't say that. Don't do that. Nah, it's a better way. Listen, what was that shit of kings don't mix with the peasants and shit? But Claressa Shields was at in boxing. She should have never been out here to this day the way she is conducting herself and carrying on. You know what I'm saying? So she's played herself. Now, it's one thing, I'm going to go ahead and say this. It's one thing if Claressa Shields was out here poking the eyeball of a Franchon Cruz-Azern, or poking the eyeball of Savannah Marshall, or poking the eyeball of Ann Wolfe, or poking the eyeball of Christy Martin, poking the eyeball of any other female boxer, Serrano, Katie Taylor, whoever. You can't, you just, it's not smart to poke the eyeball of Laila Ali. Okay? Because let me tell you something. Everyone globally loved her father. And as a result, people love those children. And I know Laila Ali, I'm 50. She may not be my age, but she's over 40 now. You better believe there are people in very important positions, key decision makers that I'm always talking about, who have a lot of respect and love for the Ali family. And when it comes to Claressa Shields, let me tell you something. She's an easy target. She's an easy person to dislike. She's an easy person to not want to work with. She's an easy person to walk by and just act like she doesn't exist, although you know she's a 2-time gold medalist and all these undisputed distinctions she has as a female fighter. She's an easy person to just not like. And when you come out here and, let me tell you something, this shit with her and all this stuff Claressa was saying, I don't really have too much of an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, try to get your money. But what I didn't like, that stung me, is the first time I heard her open her mouth when she started talking about Muhammad Ali. And that's why I said, yo, this chick just has no class. You know, she has no class, man. Her level of classiness is down there in the bottom of the fucking dumpster. Kind of like with Adrian Broner, you know what I'm saying? Like, they will say anything and do anything, like they don't care. And that's when I say, yo, this chick has no class. You should never ever mention Muhammad Ali. Ever. First of all, the man is deceased. Okay? You shouldn't say anything. You shouldn't say anything. You talk your issues with the daughter. But to come out here and say, her dad, he ain't duck no smoke. He ain't duck no smoke. Let me tell you something. For a lot of people out there who think it's cool to speak with a lot of slang and sound like you're stupid, I get it. I think everybody's guilty of, no matter where you're from in the world, everybody has their own slang. But when you come out here and you're talking like that, that's what stung me. Muhammad Ali, he wouldn't duck no smoke. Her dad wouldn't duck no smoke. That just rubbed me wrong, man. And I'm like, first of all, it's the way I was raised, and I'm not trying to say my way's better than anyone else's, but I was raised, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the deceased. But I'm not going to get all into my background. I'll just say it's, you don't speak bad or say anything about the deceased. Those are just certain things you don't do. If it's in a positive light and stuff, celebratory, but for the most part, you just kind of stay away from that, because it's very sensitive to a lot of people. A lot of people have a lot of emotions and stuff, man, attached, especially when they have a lost loved one. But for Claressa Shields to keep talking about Muhammad Ali, you're trying she was basically trying to force Laila Ali. She was trying to get a rise out of her. She was trying to get under her skin. And those little fucking playground, kindergarten, first, second grade type goddamn peer pressure, mind tricks, bullshit, that shit doesn't work on no adult who's as accomplished and successful as Laila Ali. And then to go on recently on a show and say, she ain't nobody, she just Muhammad Ali's daughter. Maybe y'all help me out. What am I missing here? Claressa Shields, what's the story? If Laila Ali doesn't want to fight Claressa Shields, she doesn't want to fight Claressa Shields. And you know what? This kind of remind me of is Canelo and David Benavidez. You know, Canelo's like, I'm the person with the name. I'm the big dog here. I'm the cash cow. But you keep disrespecting me. Y'all want me to give y'all answers and say this and that. I do it when I'm ready. I do what I want. See how Canelo handled David Benavidez. Now, even though I felt like, some similarities there, but of course we can discern between Canelo and the Laila Ali situation because Canelo's actively fighting and David Benavidez was his mandatory. But you can see that it's some similarities where you got somebody like David Benavidez calling Canelo a B word, he's scared, that MF for this and that. Canelo like, yo, why should I put money in your pocket? So I do think Canelo put some duck sauce on the carne asada, but I also understand why would I want to fight him and put money in somebody who's being a pig and disrespectful towards me? So now you got Laila Ali who ain't thinking about getting back in the ring. She's been told everybody she's retired, but she kind of stirred a pot. We 15 million and I'll think about it. So she's just been dangling a carrot out there and got Claressa Shields all worked up. But at the same time, why wouldn't she sit there, man, and have a little fun with it? Because it is boxing, it is fighting, it's all about gamesmanship, it's all about promotion, keeping people talking. But I know what stung Laila Ali. It's of course the half truths and the BS coming from Claressa Shields. But I know what stung her because Laila Ali, she mentioned a couple of times about her father, what her father stood for, and as far as if he would have had any kind of interaction or showed any support for someone like Claressa Shields, I'm telling you, it's the shit about her dad that got under her skin. I'm telling you, that's what it is. And then they were talking about colorism. Yo, colorism is a real talking point. Claressa Shields, I saw the video she did where she was talking about red bones, light skins, and this and that, and it's called self-hate, man. Claressa Shields looks at herself, and this is my opinion, I think she hates herself. And I don't have any jokes. I'm not here to say nothing crazy about Claressa Shields except she need to get some help. Because y'all watch that 28-minute video Laila Ali put out. It's just frightening. It's like they put a mirror in front of Claressa Shields and said, hold your horses, stop taking it to the stupid, look at yourself. Look at all the contradictions. Look at all the unnecessary aggression. Look at the lies. Look at how you're attacking me, talking about because I'm the pretty girl, because I'm pretty. What does that have to do with anything? It has everything to do with Claressa Shields, man. Yo. But that part about she ain't nothing but Muhammad Ali's daughter, that's crazy. Her dad wouldn't duck no smoke. That's crazy. That shit is just crazy. So I just think when it comes to them key decision makers in the sports, I would not be surprised if Claressa Shields, just because of how society is, man, that Claressa Shields, whatever, I think doors will start closing on her. I don't think more opportunities are going to be created as a result of this beef. Yeah, it's boxing and it's kind of cool, but the issue here is the venom that's come out of Claressa Shields' mouth and just mentioning Muhammad Ali's name. Y'all gotta understand, I'm telling you from experience, the shit that I've seen. Remember, I ain't no damn 18, 19-year-old. I'm a 50-year-old male, retired. I've been in a lot of different situations, professionally, personally, and I'm telling you, from being in professional settings with people who can affect your career, when you out here being disrespectful, not being professional, and your attitude fucking sucks. Now, I apologize, you guys can get a little bit of who I really am here now, right? I'm just telling you. I used to teach a briefing. It was called the CARD brief, C-A-R-D. It's an acronym, right? I used to teach that briefing. I've taught that briefing to over fucking 10,000 people, all right? Now, I'm still talking boxing, but I'm going to give you a little bit more depth to who I am, right? The C was for communication. And this is what I used to brief a lot of subordinates and in different mentorship briefings, and also people who are senior to me. Something I created, this all on my own. So the C was for communication, verbally and written, talking about the importance of communication, and also the importance of your nonverbals and how the nonverbals can communicate the true meaning of what you want to convey. Then the A was for attitude, and just basically saying, attitude is everything. No matter how effective you are at something, if you have the wrong attitude, your success will be short-lived. That's Claressa Shields right there. And then the R was being reliable, respectful, and responsible. And with the respect, Claressa Shields, she don't have respect. You see, even I had to learn. I don't have to like the person in this position, but I have to respect the position. It's not about the person, it's a position. And when you look at Muhammad Ali, his position, gotta respect that. So you don't say nothing about him. His daughter, what she did for women's boxing, you may feel how you feel about it for whatever reason. You got to respect the position. You should watch what you say about it. So the R is being reliable, responsible, respectful. Then the D was just discipline. Now, my definition of discipline is a little bit different, but I'm going to go with what Mike Tyson said. Discipline, doing the things you don't want to do like you love it. So C-A-R-D, play your card right, okay? And that was the briefing. So when I'm sitting here, even in my comment section, when I see some of the stuff people type, I be like, yo, this motherfucker ain't playing his card right, or she ain't playing her card right. That's what goes through my head. Now y'all know. And sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't, because it doesn't make sense for me to put back on the mentor hat, because I don't know none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know me, so I don't care if somebody wants to be stupid. I ain't here to develop nobody no more. But that's just how I'm wired. So when it comes to Claressa Shields and I watch her, my mind goes there. That's just in my DNA, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, she ain't playing her card right. And when I watch what's going on here right now, this is a result of her being an ineffective communicator, right? In addition to that, not controlling her nonverbals, having the wrong attitude, right? Not being responsible, not being reliable to her actions, not being respectful, and D, not having discipline. The discipline to just shut up. So when it comes to playing her card right, like her champion talks about, she is a total fail. And for those people who are saying, nah, Claressa can do what she wants, she can say what, I agree, she can say what she can, anyone. Yo, you can go out here and shoot somebody in the head. Bam, bam. You can. You deal with the consequences though, right? You can do anything you want. You got all these sickos out here. You can do anything you want, anything. Children, underage women, you can kill somebody, you can steal, break the law, do what you want, not pay your bills. Just be ready to deal with them consequences. And Claressa Shields, I think, is going to have some serious consequences coming her way, because this is the reality of the situation. Claressa Shields opening her mouth. Her voice doesn't really extend that far. Matter of fact, when she talks, most people, they turn off whatever it is that her voice is being relayed through. They don't even like hearing her talk. That's just the truth. The only time I enjoyed listening to Claressa Shields talk was she was doing she was on the Breakfast Club, and then she was talking about kind of some of the trials and tribulations and just how the letdowns by family members. I listened to that shit because I was like, yo, that's crazy that she went through that. But when she starts to get on the negative stuff and all that, I can't listen to that. I can't take it. I can't handle it. My head can't handle that shit. But for the most part, her voice doesn't extend that far. So when the thing she was saying about Laila Ali, she didn't really get too many people's attention. Nobody cared. But when Laila Ali speaks, her voice extends around the world. So what you have now is people who didn't know who Claressa Shields was, right? Now they're like, who is this Claressa Shields girl who's upset Laila Ali? What does Laila Ali do a video? She doesn't do this. What happened here? That's what's happening at this moment. There are people who are saying, and I'm talking about people who are important. I ain't just talking about us here in the boxing community. I'm talking about levels above us who are saying, what the fuck happened over there? What's the girl's name? Claressa Shields. Who is that? She's a boxer, two-time gold medalist. She's a pro boxer, pretty good boxer. But what did she say about Muhammad Ali? Why is Laila talking about this? What happened? And then Claressa Shields now becomes known for the wrong fucking reasons. And this is why I've been, for years, my oldest is 15, that boy could sit there and brief the card briefing. I've been drilling that shit in them from small. But now Claressa Shields is known for the wrong reason. I'll give you a story, true story, about being known for the wrong reason, for the wrong people. I mean, we worked in a building, right? We had our section. I had like 25 people in the section I was responsible for. And right up the hall was the group commander. Now the group commander, it's like for y'all who weren't in the military, that's like this kind of like the CEO of the company, if we were civilians, right? And I was like a superintendent. But anyway, in my section, there was a guy in my section who got known for the wrong reasons by the group commander, like the CEO. So I'm just going to talk military talk since I broke that down to you. Dumbass, you know what he was doing? I used to have to go to this daily briefing, right? And I used to have to drive across to another building and go to this briefing and sit there for this meeting. It's like an hour and a half long meeting. And when I would leave, I would come back, and sometimes when you come back, you go and you take a piss, right? I go take a piss and I go wash my hands. And I used to notice there were like 3 sinks. I noticed in one of the sinks there was like this little blue, look like rocks. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what's that blue shit in the sink? So I wash my hands, but I take a paper towel and I wipe out all the blue rocks. And I just couldn't understand what it was. Throw it in the trash. For about a month or so, I noticed this shit in the sink. One day I went to the meeting was canceled. So it's like, thank God. So we were gone maybe 15 minutes. I'm coming back. When I'm coming back, I see this kid. I go in the bathroom, asshole is in the bathroom. You know what he's doing in there? He had a small fish tank on his desk. He would wait till I left to clean his fish tank out. And he would pour all that shit in the sink and then wouldn't clean it out. So the rocks and shit was just, the stuff you put at the bottom of the fish tank. And I was like, yo, what are you doing? So at this day, right, I'm in the office. Let me tell you, shit rolls downhill. I'm in the office. I'm chilling at my desk. And the group commander comes up to me. He's like, hey, Sergeant Hood Champion, need to talk to you. He's like, look, for the last month or so, I noticed you got a guy who goes in there and he's kind of cleaning out his fish tank, during duty hours and dirtying up the sink. I cleaned it out a couple of times and just kind of appreciate if you could talk to him. I was like, yeah, no problem. And I said, because I didn't want to, throw my people under the bus. But I had to tell him this. I said, listen, he said, stop. He's like, I know you've talked to him before. He said, I know how you are. He's like, because he said, that same guy has come in here and complained, saying you were too iron-fisted. I said, all right. He said, but I'm watching him now. So you can tell him that he's got the wrong set of eyes on him. So can you fix this for me? I said, cool. So I go back in there and I'm telling him, I said, yo, because I had talked to him like four times about that fish tank. I was like, yo, man, make sure you don't clean that shit here at work. And if you're going to clean it at work, they had a place outside, because we were overseas. They had a place outside with a sink and all that, an industrial sink. I said, yo, clean your fish tank outside the building, but don't do it in this building, because I don't need them to see you, because that put heat on me. But I didn't understand them blue rocks, I'll be honest. But then it all made sense. So I said, yo, man, the damn group commander now, he just came and talked to me. So now you got him watching you. So now you on his radar. I said, I'll tell you what, man, if anything else with that fish come in here, I said, I'm going to take some wasabi and soy sauce and dip it in. I'm going to eat that motherfucking fish. And everybody in the office started laughing. But not him, because he had this attachment to fish, because he grew up as an only child and lonely, and fish were his friends and shit. So I mean, I ain't make fun of him or nothing, but I just realized I'm dealing with somebody who's a lot different from me. And so it comes back again to what I'm saying about people doing shit, and then all of a sudden you have the wrong intention. And that guy, he could never walk past the group commander and be comfortable, because everybody just saw him as an idiot who was cleaning his stinking fish tank out in the building and stinking up the sink. And he put it this way, there was some awards I put in for him to try to help with his image. Those shits didn't go through, I'll put it to you that way. And when it comes to Claressa Shields, I can just see different opportunities and doors where she's thinking that maybe they're not even considering her for certain things. And I'm 100% sure this may have happened already. If not, I'm 100% sure it's going to happen. There may be an opportunity where they're looking for someone, and her name comes up, and they say, who? They're like, oh, okay, tell me about this person. Dumb boxer, gold medalist, this and that, undisputed, female, this and that. And they'd be like, wow, movie done about her. Okay, oh yeah. And they'd be like, Claressa Shields. And then somebody decides to go do a little research on her, and they type in Claressa Shields something, and boom, the Laila Ali video comes up. And they come back and be like, and they see some of those clips that Laila Ali has in that video. She got some, I need to watch that video. And they're going to be like, hell no. No way. This is the chick that y'all talking about? Like, nah, we'll pass. And Claressa Shields would never even know that these kind of conversations are taking place. And you may say, manhood champion, how do you know shit like that happens? Give you another story. Remember, you're not talking to no normal, these fucking guys that create these YouTube videos. I ain't one of them. Okay? So you got to understand sometimes where my frustration comes from, because I'm trying to just breathe and just be normal when I do these videos, but there's a side of me that, it ain't never gonna change. That's just, no bullshit. But let me give you another story about nefarious people who just got too much brain. I had a guy I worked with. He was above me, right? And he was jealous. He was jealous of me for all kind of shit. The women, jealous because of my relationship with the people in the office. So he was trying to get people to turn on me. So check this out. What was happening, right? He would send these people emails but he would take me off. So he would email everyone in the office except for me and be like, hey, ask him if y'all could go home. Ask him if y'all could go home. And they would come in, and this is after I had just gave them a weekend briefing at like 12 o'clock and say, okay, I need y'all to do X, Y, and Z, and then maybe I'll get, half y'all out of here early. Next Friday, I get the other half out of here. And he would come right back behind him and like, ask him to let y'all go now. Now, I didn't know this. So what happened is they'd be asking me, hey, you think we can go home? We've done everything. I'm like, oh, let me check. And I go check. I'm like, y'all didn't do everything. They're like, well, this person's still working on this. I'm like, so why don't y'all converge on that task and help them get it done? Don't come out here with this shit about you're done, you're leaving. See who else need help and help them. When all y'all get it done, then maybe. But the way y'all operating independent of each other, that shit ain't gonna fly. So I would do that, and it made me look bad because it made him look like the good guy who was like, hey, y'all, he should let y'all go. I think y'all can go home. But they had to ask me. Then I would tell them no. So he was looking like the good guy. I was looking like the bad guy. I didn't know that. That shit went on for months. Till finally one person in there, man, me and her became cool, and she told me this is what he's doing, and she forwarded me the emails. I was like, what? So that's one thing where when you have somebody who's wicked, but I didn't do nothing. But check this out. Let me tell you something else. People in power, how they can bring you down. We had another thing for awards. Everybody in the section wanted to be submitted for awards, quarterly, annual, but we were dealing with the annual. And I was asking him because he was a supervisor, right? I was an E7, he was an E8 at the time. I was like, hey, all these people want to be put in for awards, so we need to make a decision who we're going to submit. He said, it's okay. Tell them they all can submit. I was like, what? I'm like, but we can only submit one per category. You got like 3 people per category. We can't do that. He's like, no, it's okay. Let them all submit. He was like, and what we'll do is we'll just take the one we want and we'll just shred the other ones. I was like, so you're going to make them waste all that time writing all their accomplishments? And you got to write it in this bullet form, right? So it's a certain way you write your accomplishments out. Like, you're going to make them write all that shit out? And you just, if you decide you're not submitting anybody, you just shred it all? I said, how are you going to tell them that? He's like, we don't tell them. I said, what do you mean we don't tell them? He's like, you just let them submit it, and then we'll make them believe that we pushed it up so they can be taken into consideration. But in actuality, I'll just shred them. But at least they think that we're looking out for them. But they would never be considered because we'll never submit it. I said, man, that's fucked up. That's horrible. And what happened is I didn't do that. I said I went and there were like 4 categories, and there were like 3 people per category who wanted to be submitted. I said I can only submit one. So I made them sit down and discuss it and decide who was going to be the one person to get submitted. And they did. I helped them put their packages together, and then I took them and I submitted the packages. And he was like, oh, so what are we going to, he said, oh, so you got packages? Yeah, I did them. I worked with them. They decided who was going to go. They agreed. One person put a little more work in than the others. I helped them with the bullets. I tweaked it. It needs to get submitted. Now, I had copies. So he said, okay, I'll take care of it. But then I went and sent it out and CC'd him on it because I didn't trust him. And he was like, hey, man, you sent that out to you. I said, oh, my bad, man. Fuck you, motherfucker. So I did that. But see, I didn't know he was that kind of person. So what I'm getting at is Claressa Shields could be, but he's been messing with, anyway, I ain't gonna get into all that. He was as a shady motherfucker. But what I'm getting at is Claressa Shields could end up in a situation where, and these were people who have done nothing to deserve what that guy was doing to him. But Claressa Shields is a person who's, to me, has brought a lot of attention on himself. And if you have people like this guy who will try to screw individuals when they've done nothing wrong, they actually deserve to be lauded, to be recognized. You know what I'm saying? And Claressa Shields has done shit to where I'd say maybe she doesn't deserve any recognition just because of her attitude. You think somebody's gonna want to go out their way for her? And if they do, it's gonna be because there's some money involved, and they're gonna probably try to take the lion's share. But I wish Claressa Shields the best luck. I really do, man. But I'm talking from experience and shit I've seen. I'm telling you, when you got that person with the bad attitude, they don't go very far. I'm telling you right now. And we got another saying, plenty shit start to stink. And with Claressa Shields, that video, that 28-minute video that Laila Ali put out, shit is vicious, boy. Absolutely vicious. Anyway, y'all go and check it out. Again, that it's right here. Let the Record Show Part 1, Laila Ali KO. That's the name of the YouTube page. You go check that out. And then let me know what you think. But I'm going to tell y'all again, Claressa Shields has all the talent in the world. But I've been saying, I did a video today where I was saying I think it was today I did it. I said today is it was during my morning live. I said this is the time for someone like Shadaysha Green to fight Claressa Shields and beat her. Because I just feel like Claressa has so many distractions going on. She got her man, Pap, and my boyfriend, Pap, yeah, Pap, and Pap. She's talking about having kids, she's talking about this, she's talking about that. But now she's talking about coming back to boxing and she want to fight this person, she going to do this. And Claressa Shields is a bad girl. There was one time I said, ain't nobody beating her. I still think Claressa Shields should be the favorite against anyone. But I think if there's a little bit of a crack there, and someone can kind of get in between that and kind of expand it a little bit, they may look in there and see a little bit of vulnerability. And this may be the perfect opportunity for someone like Shadaysha Green to clip Claressa Shields and get a victory, especially with this big distraction now. But anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents, man. Yo, best of luck to all of them. But I'm going to tell you, for me, I just think Claressa Shields, she got a big mouth. And she can do what she wants. But there are consequences. And to me, this is a significant problem that she has now. Because she has a problem with Ali. And a lot of y'all may think that shit doesn't matter. That shit matters, man. Because a lot of people don't like Claressa Shields anyway. Everyone she has, if you think about it, right? She has something negative to say about everyone. Everyone. She beefs with everyone. But hopefully she can learn from this, man, and she can get some help, because there's just too much talent there, man. Claressa Shields is just a talented human being, man. It ain't even about women. She is just special, man. But there's something going on with her. And maybe it's just her hustle to try to get a fight. But for me, if thousands of people come through these hands, man, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen my share of people to where I think I have an unqualified, I think I'm a non-expert opinion, but at the same time I'm somewhat qualified, because I'm not a social worker, I'm not a guy doing clinical counseling and shit like that, but I'm someone who have more hands-on experience with dealing with people and seeing the changes in people's attitudes and behaviors and choices, and all of a sudden they're having financial struggles and shit. Things they didn't have before, they get worse, or things that they didn't have before, they get better. You know what I'm saying? I've seen both ends of the spectrum. So when I watch Claressa Shields, I'm seeing, I'm basically back where I have a subordinate, and I'm like, this person here has potential. We need to groom them. How do we help them become the best version of themselves? And that's what I see when I look at her through my lens. But that's not the boxing lens I come on here and talk with. That's me. This is me talking right now. That's what, when I look at her, that's what I see. But you know, I ain't here to mentor nobody and none of that shit. They wouldn't listen to me anyway. You know, they just know I'm this the cat here, come out there, man, be talking about, don't take it to the stupid. But good luck to her. But the secret society is in full effect. Whatever opportunity she deserves, she didn't get it. She sure as hell ain't gonna get it now until she fixed this shit. So we're gonna see what direction she goes. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.